let's bring in our next guest, our friend Lance Lynn from the White Sox, joining us right now. Too bad there's nothing to talk about today. Lance, how you doing, man? You traveling? You're not driving though. Just you always have to do the disclaimer before you start.
No, I'm at the ballpark in the players' lot, so just chill.
No, I was wondering if you were in the drive-thru getting a salad somewhere for us.
Yeah, there's no drive-through salad places I've found on the way to the ballpark, unfortunately.
You know, it was funny. So last time we had you on was like, 3 weeks ago. And I brought up how there's some dumb local radio hosts that are like calling out reasoning for, oh, why isn't Lance pitching well? Like maybe it's the pitch clock or something. Remember, I asked you that and I was like, yo, I'm seeing some crap. And you were like, yeah, I always work fast. I'm good. And then, of course, Steve Stone calls you out a few hours later. So people were like, oh, did you ask him because of that? And I was like, no, we just were paying attention to other things and asked him. So we asked the question and got it out of the way before the shitty comment was made, which obviously you had a good time with.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like you said, there's going to be people that make up narratives in their head and then, they speak, out of turn on things they don't know anything about. And that's what happened during that time.
See, he's a veteran. He answers so veteran.
No, he said like they had a conversation.
I know right? The whole story. We talked about it the other day when I did their game on Saturday.
Can you give us a little bit on our show here? Like, so I mean, just for broadcaster purposes.
Steve apologized and he accepted his apology.
It's that simple. You just went to him and said, "Hey, my bad. I wasn't thinking." Did you like?
Well, Lance charged up to the booth and threatened him. He had him by the neck over the railing, and Steve's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
No.
He's not denying it.
You guys got me? Sorry, cut out there for a second.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on.
Right, yeah. Hold on. Do you know what your ERA is at the moment?
Devil.
What's that?
Do you know what your ERA is at the moment?
It's not good. It's way north of what I want it to be.
No, it's 6.66 right now. So we need that to go down because that's a bad number.
We got to get it off there one way. Hopefully it's south. We need to go south of that real quick.
Yes, for sure.
It's been moving.
Listen, you pitched awesome last night. In the White Sox, 7 innings, great game. You got a standing ovation from the White Sox crowd. I gave you one at my house when you walked off the field because I was proud of you for stepping up for the team. What's it feel like when you've been struggling?
That one means more than anything.
Uh-oh.
Lance coming back in a sec.
I mean, he can go in the stadium, and there's Wi-Fi in the stadium.
Are you sure?
I've been there.
Didn't it used to be called U.S. Cellular? Oh, nice and clear. Oh, he looks good. Nice and clear. Hey, picture's great.
I heard that. You say that there's Wi-Fi, but that Wi-Fi is what's cutting in and out. I had to get off of
it. Oh, now you're just on the phone, right?
Yeah, just on the phone.
There you go.
Hey, tell Jerry to pay for your Wi-Fi. Upgrade that Wi-Fi package.
I think you got to be hard connected still here.
Hey, your birthday was last Friday. What did you do for it? Because, I mean, at least as a pitcher, not playing every day, so you can at least plan something, no?
No, you can't, especially when you have a night game. There's not a whole, you can't go to dinner, you can't do anything. But the family had a little dinner for me on the off day on Monday, so it was good. All the kids saying happy birthday and all that good stuff. When you get old, you stop celebrating them, especially after like 30. They don't count anymore. That's the way I try to see it.
I think it should be the opposite. You're like, yo, look at me, still going strong. Whether it's just someone like me in life or you actually in the bigs.
Yeah, truthfully, but you don't want anybody to know actually how old you are because like eventually they start putting a time stamp on you. Like, man, you're getting to the end. And I'm like, nah, I got plenty of years left. So I'm not going to tell you how old I am until I'm done.
How many years do you want to play or more if you had to just put a rando number on it?
I would say right now, the idea is just make it to the next one every year when you get to this point. But, always the original goal was always to 38. I don't know why that number sticks out. So 2 more years for sure is the hope. And then kind of see how you feel, see where the kids are at school-wise, sports-wise, whatever you need. A lot of things are going to be going on when I get to that age to where family's going to need me a lot more coming up. So that's kind of the thought right now.
One of the keys, I think, recently has been saying, fuck the sweeper. And you told us that last time, and you were like, I gave up a dinger off that pitch, and then next outing we watched, I think you didn't use it anymore, and I don't think you've used it since, correct me if I'm wrong. I was looking through the pitch usage.
Yep, I gave up a hit on it last night too, so it's still in the doghouse. That's where we're at with it. It's starting to look better. I did get a strikeout one game with it, so it's it's hit or miss right now. It either gives up a hit or strikes someone out. So I'd like it to be more of the ability to get outs with it on more of a basis that's more of my liking.
Hey, remember, he said, fuck the sweeper. Now he's throwing the sweeper. He also said he wants to make it to 38. Well, Tom Brady said he was going to play till he was 45. He just quit too. So, I mean,
Yeah, but he made it to what, 43, 44?
Yeah, but I mean, he was 43 when he ended. So I mean, anything over 40, sometimes you start talking crazy when you get over 40. 45 after being 40 was a little nuts. So I'm in a good spot to get to 38, and then you see where you're at after that. But that was always my goal. And you know how it is, AJ. When you get to the big leagues, your goal is to get to arbitration, then free agency, and then you're like, okay, what's going to be enough? I think 38 is kind of that point where back when I played with you years and years ago, when you were old, I was thinking,
I think I was
I'd love
38.
to play that long.
I think I was 38 when we played together, so it was pretty close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was the number back in the day. I don't know why. It's just one of those things where, like, all the guys that, I played with, I respected, that had long careers, like 38 was that number where it's like, hey, I could probably give it another year, but I'm not trying to be miserable leaving.
True. I made it 2 more after that. So.
Yeah, and Brady, I've been told, made it to 45. He turns 46 in August.
Oh,
so
okay.
He did make it.
He made it.
Ha, from Tom Brady.
Yeah. Oh, good. He's really showing me, man.
Yeah,
Tom
he's
is showing me and Lance.
Yeah.
Hey,
Lance, when you didn't pay for your Wi-Fi, and we have to now pay for your Wi-Fi, we were talking about the win last night. Not only the way you pitched, but was that a message to the Guardians? They had Bieber going. You were pitching for the White Sox, and you guys whooped their ass last night. Sheets hit the ball. I mean, Louis Robert hits a home run every game. Was that kind of a message saying, hey, we're not done yet, and we have a chance still in this division?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. I haven't pitched the way that I wanted to so far, so you're playing a division opponent that gave us trouble last year, so you want to get after them. Offensively, you're facing Bieber, who has always been really good against us. So all in all, we showed what we're capable of. Now we just got to do it day in and day out, and that's where we're at. And that's going to be the main thing moving forward. How can we do things day in and day out to win games?
Hey, Lance, the fans have been waiting for this because I promised. We're doing a giveaway, okay? And we kind of teased it last time. You have it?
Right.
Is that it? There you go.
Right here.
It is a signed
Clank ball.
Clank ball.
Yeah.
It is the Clank ball. Actually, hey, social team, that's what we need to call it now. The Clank ball. Is it already signed by both of you?
Signed by
there
both
we
of
go.
us and authenticated and has the sticker.
Signed and authenticated. First pitch thrown out for the White Sox season.
There's both signatures.
On opening day.
On opening day, and there's the authentication. And just
showing
the authentication.
years and years of AJ behind the plate.
So here's, Lance, I just want to get on the record now because the signatures aren't authenticated. But Lance, you did sign this ball for me when I saw you on Saturday, correct, Clank?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted, that's on the record. He was stretching. I don't know why, but he was stretching in the training room.
You guys just said I was old. You guys stretch the older you get.
Hell yeah. And we just showed the GoPro footage.
I was getting ready for my bullpen. He came in and bugged me like he always does when he comes to town. And we got it done, though.
That's good work.
Everybody says, oh, you can't go back there. I'm like, where's your credential? I said, see that World Series ring? That's my credential. I'll go wherever I want.
You're that guy?
I'm that guy. I'll go wherever I want,
here.
Kids.
Everybody knows when AJ's in town when he's here. That's for sure.
No surprise. So for everyone watching, there's your 3 easy steps to win that first pitch ball. I would say, yes, we got to switch for the next time we put the graphic up. The Clank ball. How to win the Clank ball. Follow FT's YouTube page. Or subscribe to it. Reply to our giveaway tweet with a screenshot showing your follow. And the winner gets announced next Wednesday. You got 1 week. White Sox are a part of this too. So good luck to everyone. Okay. So I want to get the veteran pitcher's perspective here. Domingo Germán gets tossed from the game yesterday. He had been checked by the same ump crew. This shit's important because then Max has a situation which we think is different from the situation from yesterday. They showed like some crap on his pants, not literal crap, but wanted to get your thoughts on what went down, what could be. I mean, Kratzy thought it was dip, but what did you think of all of that and where are we at with sticky stuff now?
I think that I think the big thing of all of it when it all started was to see where guys were at, whether it was spin rates and all that, to see if they're going down when the check started a couple years ago now. Now it's like I feel like you're getting like some guys have gotten opportunities to. I guess he got an opportunity to wipe it off or whatever he had and didn't, and then came out and said that there's more stickiness than ever. Did I see it correctly that he got thrown out going back out to the mound?
Yes, he was coming out of the dugout.
So, in my opinion, like if you get thrown out going back out to the mound, like that's just stupidity. I don't know what he's got going on or anything like that. He says that he's not doing anything wrong, so I don't know him personally. It's one of those things where if you got to almost go above and beyond and make sure after you get warned or whatever to make sure you don't do it. But I think every guy's different. Everybody's got different rosin things and that nature. So. But when you get told to do something coming off and then it seems like nothing changed coming back out, you're going to get in trouble. There's no other way to say it, and that's pretty much what it looked like. Like I said, I've not seen the thing all the way through. I just know that when you get popped coming out of the dugout, going back out, that's you can't really say that you have rosin on your hands because unless you're sitting there putting rosin on in the dugout, which I've never seen before, so I don't know.
It was the same umpires. Let's not forget that last time he got checked and they told him to go wash, the game Rocco Baldelli got kicked out of. It was the same umpiring crew. So they were already on high alert.
They say,
right.
He said last time they checked him that is what he does. He puts the rosin on his hands before he comes out there, which I'm like, why?
Well, I think if you end that practice, I think that then you can have more of a, hey, everyone sees me put the rosin on me on the mound and how I go about it, and that's what I do. So like I said, I don't know him. When I was in New York, I barely crossed paths with him when I was there. Don't know anything that he used then or anything now, but if you're putting stuff on in the dugout before, that's kind of what they want you to get away from anyways. It's, hey, here's what's behind the mound, and this is what everybody gets to use, and let's go compete against each other on a fair basis.
What do you use? Spider tack? Pine tar? What do you use? Dip?
No, I got rosin and good old fashioned sweat. When you eat enough red meats and drink some vodka and all that during the week, you sweat out differently than other people. So it works well for me.
Ranch dressing, maybe? I don't know. Thousand Island? What are we using here?
No, I'm a vinaigrette person on my salads. That's the best way to go about it.
So
a nice salmon Caesar too, every once in a while.
There you go.
There you go.
I like that. So my question on this is, afterward, they talk to James Hoy, the umpire, the crew chief gets to address like one pool reporter. And he said it was like the stickiest he's ever felt a hand when he was doing the hand checks. Okay. He then said it was not rosin. He's like, that was not rosin. I know what rosin is. It doesn't get sticky like that. That's the only part where I think now MLB is just letting it linger. Because Scherzer, who said, I swear on my kids' lives, I was only using sweat and rosin. But you actually, according to the rules, can use too much sweat and rosin. That's what got him in trouble. So I don't want to lump those two together. I think they're separate cases. I also think an umpire saying sweat and rosin can't get sticky has not seen multiple demonstrations done. But if you use enough of that shit and get it real sticky and get the sweat on there, like we've seen the demos, you can actually get it really sticky. So don't you think we're kind of all over the place right now?
Yeah, and unfortunately, to be honest with you, everybody sweats differently, and that's just the truth of it. We have guys that sweat and rosin is, some guys get a little bit more feel than others, and it's just sweat and rosin. So I don't really know how you can police that. You're pretty much saying, hey, you can use your sweat because it's not as sticky as that guy's sweat. So I think that there's going to be a fine line there. But like I said, if you're doing everything on the mound and they see it, like that's where I think that's the main thing that we're trying to get is, hey, here's what's behind the mound, here's what everybody's using, and it's kind of one of those things. Whatever you're able to get out of it, then that's the way it's going to go. And I think that's the number one thing. It's like for me, I use the rosin that's behind the mound, and that's it. Here we go, and I just get after it. And I think that's going to be the number one thing to save anybody. Is like, hey, you're literally looking at everything that I'm doing. I'm not doing anything in the dugout or nothing. this is what I'm doing. I'm using the rosin that you put out there before the game, and that's it.
If an ump comes up to you and says, "Sorry, dude, too much sweat with your rosin right now, too much steak and vodka during the week," what do you say back?
It's like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't wipe sweat off when I'm sweating, things of like that nature. So when you look at it that way, it's like, okay, you're starting down a slippery slope that you can't do anything. So we're gonna have to have a sweat towel on the back of the mound. Then we're gonna have to have more time on the clock to wipe sweat away. Like, there's a lot of slippery, like there's a lot of ways this could go. But when it's all said and done, if you are using what they give you behind the mound and that's it, I think that's where, it's pretty much says, hey, we're watching him. That's what it is. He's using the rosin behind the mound, and there's no rosin being administered in the dugout or things like that. We're watching him do it, and that's the way it goes. I think that's what we're all trying to get at, right? Everybody's doing that. everybody has the rosins behind the mound. That's it. And then whatever you can do, you do it, and you go out there and pitch with what you have.
Now tell your real answer, dude. If an umpire comes up to you and says, "Yeah, you're sweating too much," and you're only using rosin, you're grabbing your nuts and saying, "Fuck off, dude. Come feel them." I mean, let's be serious. You're not giving them the.
If you're telling me, hey, you're sweating too much and all that, it's like, well, that's, I'm out here pitching. That's my job. So you're telling me not to do my job and things of that nature. So, I've never had an issue with anything with this. I've actually enjoyed the checks and getting rid of the spider tax and all the stuff that other people were using, because I saw some outrageous things in the past, and then now you just say, hey, here's the rosin, go get go get it, and whatever you can naturally get from the rosin, and that's what you get, and then you just go compete. That's the way I was taught coming up. I didn't have the spider tax and the pine tars and all of that. Heck, when I was coming up, it was throw a sinker, so you didn't want any stick. You wanted the sinker to sink more, and stick made it spin more and didn't sink as much. So games changed.
Exactly. Speaking of that same game last night, because you're old now. Speaking of that game last night, not only Herman get ejected, I'm sure you guys saw the whole Aaron Judge thing where he's looking side-eyeing the crap out of the first base coach, or allegedly whatever he was doing. I know you. And we asked Corbin Burns this yesterday. If you catch a guy doing that, he's catching one in the ribs, right?
That's the only way to stop it, I think, right? Unfortunately, whether it's kind of everything's changed in the game. Everyone told me, they're like, oh, well, if you're giving it and the first base or third base coach can get it, then, it's on you. It's like, no, coaches and dugouts and things like that are out of it. If a guy's on base and he sees it, your grip from second, that's on you. I see that one. But when players that are not on the field or coaches that are not playing the game are involved, that's where I think it's too much. Everybody can do their homework. They can see things and do all that. But if it's not your teammate and or you in the box getting the tips or whatever, that's where I draw the line.
Understood. I would expect nothing less, because we've talked about this. If you catch a guy peeking, it's auto rib shot.
That's that old school when the guy wears sunglasses and is peeking at the catcher where he goes. That's the same thing, and that's the old way of, when it's all said and done, you're trying to create an advantage by doing something that you're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm. I have a fan question here from Brandon. It's actually been a big topic over the past week. This is a good one for you. Brandon goes, do you think Shohei Ohtani is an ace?
I mean, his stuff says yes. So that's the you're looking at, I think he's starting to pitch more and more each year after Tommy John. So when it's all said and done, you can say what you want. He's an MVP. He's an ace. He's a powerful DH. He's everything that you wanted in a creative player on MLB The Show. So yeah, you can't say he's not.
Okay, how many aces are there in baseball?
Ooh,
one per team?
Ooh, I wouldn't even say that.
Oakland doesn't have one.
No, I wouldn't say there's one. I would say on all of baseball, you could classify 10 to 15 guys as aces, true aces.
Okay.
So AJ and Kratz were more like 8 to 10. I said more like 15 to 20. So he's right in the middle there of the range. And we were going through names because it depends on what your definition is. They're doing the whole some guys don't have enough dirt in their spikes situation. Like for me, Shohei Ohtani, it's not like he's a year in. It's been several years. The stuff's sick. Game on the line or whatever, series on the line or something. If he's on the mound, I feel great. He has Cy Young caliber stuff. It's not like it's been 1 minute in the league. Like there's multiple examples here. Spencer Strider. Ace-like stuff, but not enough yet because he just started last year, right?
I got you. I feel like Shohei obviously has more than along the career path than Spencer does, but Spencer's got tremendous stuff watching him pitch. So I think there's the old school in you says, hey, you got to earn it to be an ace, and then there's ace-like stuff. There's a lot of guys with ace-like stuff, but if you haven't done it over the period of time yet, you can't be classified either. So I get both sides of that.
Okay, so are you?
We like to anoint people a little early.
Because if I had to win a game, I'd take Lance Lynn on the mound. Are you an ace? If we're going off Scott's questions,
if you were to say of my one of the 10 to 15 in the game, nobody would say yes to that. But when it comes to being able to, when a game's on the line, leave it all out there, I feel like I'm a guy that's in that category. So it just depends on how you want it. If you don't have eye-popping stuff, some people don't like it. But there's a lot of guys that pitched a long time in this game that didn't have the wow stuff, but they had nuts and guts, and that's all you need to win a game.
That's what we've talked about with Lance too. Also, we're going off a month and a half of baseball. To me, I don't take too much recency bias, right? Verlander's made a couple, 3 starts or something, and 2 haven't gone well. Scherzer hasn't pitched well. Those guys are both aces right now. I'm going off. There's a past experience factor here for me, just like with Lance, right? We've said with Cy Young votes, ERA titles, being in the top 5s of things like that, that's been there for a while. So good in my book.
Okay.
Just saying. All right, good. Thank you for helping with the debate.
Scott believes everyone gets a trophy, so just
no,
understand
that's not true at all. Absolutely not true at all. Like Lance, it's no secret. Like the Oakland A's, they don't have an ace. And we can go down the line. I came up with about 20 pitchers.
Hey, the great Denny Martinez, El Presidente, told me in high A, he goes, "You're the ace of that day because you're the guy starting." So you can't say that, but that was Denny for you. He was always positive.
We've gotten some of those lines.
Nuts and guts, Scott, and don't ever forget it.
Yeah, here
it's
we
a T-shirt. All right, well, Lance, awesome catching up with you, and good luck to whoever wins the Clank ball. I'm glad that is the perfect name for it. No, I know that's not the Clank ball. It's the Clank ball's prettier.
Stuffed away over there.
Yeah, it's
I don't know if he's going to want to give it away.
You don't want to give it away?
No, I don't know if AJ's going to want to give it away.
Oh, we already committed to it.
Oh, it's going away. No, it's going away. I should have got Lance to write I suck at catching Clank on it or something.
Yeah, I was using AJ's catching glove from the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, good catching up, dude. We'll talk to you in a few weeks.
See you guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Nuts and